phantom limb phenomenon was a way that I could sort of literally start to explain the potential of what our mind is capable of doing. If we allow our mind to be what it's capable of being, where it will take us.
Je vis dans une maison sans balcon, sans toiture, où il n'y a même pas d'abeilles.
I happened upon this old vintage prosthetic arm. I loved how mechanical it looked, and I loved the structure of it. And then I did this first piece, which is the phantom limb piece, based on that. The first thing I always do is the background, which would have been the blue sky. So the whole background is that blue sky, and then I'll go back and I kind of work from the background to the foreground. So I would have done this row of trees. I would have cut that next, and then this little hill area, and then this whole foreground underneath it. And then I think I went and did the face. I couldn't have a face that wasn't expressive or wasn't realistic enough. So I just started playing, and I did sketches in my sketchbook of some ideas about how the faces should be executed, and then I was able to just pull my fabrics together and kind of make them happen. If you look closely, the way the eyes are done, the eyes have have so much to do with it, but this is a really wide satin stitch area in the iris, and then the pupil is also stitched, and then I go back and do this little kind of a coral colored rim, and I just try to make them as expressive as I possibly can. And then the rest of it is really sewing. So after that, it's just, I'm basically drawing the whole dress pattern. I'm drawing the flowers. I just use a little chalk pencil so it lifts up. But I'll draw this whole area on the dress and then go back and just start stitching. I mean, that piece has some really fun techniques. That's kind of a new bark technique that I did in the tree, which is all satin stitched. It's a real tight little zigzag stitch that ends up looking almost like a ribbon. It's so tight that you can't really see that it's stitched, but each one is a zigzag stitch going back and forth. It's got the thread painting in the little deer, and I'm self-taught, so I always have to teach myself everything that I know. I never learned anything in school, or very little. So when I find a new technique like the thread painting, I've always had to get my own materials out, make my own mistakes, pull it all together, myself with a lot of trial and error. But I think the cool part of that is that I'd never learned what not to do. So it's like I don't know. I can just do whatever I want, and it usually works. It is just like painting with thread, and this was a huge breakthrough, and it's enabled me to do really all the new work that I have right now.